Hello and welcome to Hot Dog and Handshake Classic. This, of course, is the weekly episode where we go back and we review a classic show. I'm your host, Jayden Ginswider. Joining me here at Sound Peak Audio Design in Topeka, Kansas is my co-host, Shane Price. Shane, where are we going this week?
Back to the olden years of 2009 to December 2009 for TLC. I think the first one?
The first TLC happened on December 13th, 2009 in front of 15,226 people at the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. On the call for the night are Jerry Lawler, Matt Stryker, and Jim Ross. This era of WWE, I think it's a little bit underrated because I think there's a lot of fun to be had with early PG era WWE. And I think it's just seen as a downgrade because it comes off the heels of Ruthless Aggression, which came off the heels of Attitude Era. But there's still a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, this is what I grew up watching, so I feel like, this is all right. But I remember very vividly that this was like my favorite arena in SVR 2011, and the picture of Sheamus at the end, just victorious, it was always like the loading screen I'd always get. So that's what I remember about this show.
Yep. Starting off, we have Christian defending the ECW title against Shelton Benjamin. Christian comes out to Close Your Eyes, which I think is his best theme song. This was exciting to see because when I was looking at this card and I saw that Christian and Shelton Benjamin got 18 minutes for a ladder match, I was excited. I was not expecting that out of 2009 WWE.
I remember when they were building to this. I feel like there was a bit when Shelton Benjamin was playing a SmackDown Raw 2010, because that came out like the last month on like an Xbox 360, and Christian or John Morrison just walks up and turns it off.
That's awesome. At this point, at least one of these two had competed in 1/3 of ladder matches all time in WWE. So that's it. That's crazy that these two have just been kept putting ladder matches. A couple sequences I liked from this match. Christian pulls a ladder out from under Benjamin, tries to use the ladder to knock him down, but puts it back under him, knocks him off. Benjamin takes the ladder out from under Christian, pulls Christian onto his shoulders, and power bombs him onto a ladder that's set up in the corner. Shelton Benjamin tries to German suplex Christian on a ladder that is bridged from the apron to the announce desk. Christian counters with a fulcrum kick. Then he splashes Benjamin through the ladder, which did not look fun for either man. Christian also was busted open pretty early in this match from a ladder, which you didn't see a lot of blood in this era of WWE. This is kind of the start of the no blood era, but was still it added something to this match. Christian ends up winning. I gave this 3 3/4 stars. What did you think of this match?
I think it was just okay. I was a good opener for TLC. I think it was a pretty solid ladder match. The Christian's going to be in there, so it's going to be good. Shelton still got that like athletic bit to him in this point. It was all right for an opener. I gave it like a 3.
Give it a 3? Yeah, I thought it was a really cool opener for the time. Definitely not the worst match you're going to see on this card, but also not the best. It's up there, though. It was really good. I really enjoyed this. Good way to kick off the show. Next, we have the reason that we picked this show. We wanted to highlight this show we wanted to watch this show because we wanted to highlight Drew McIntyre's first title win in WWE for the Intercontinental Championship against John Morrison. And also because the card just looked fun, right? So, of course, this weekend, as this is coming out, is Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre challenging Damian Priest for the heavyweight title. This match, though, was not much to write home about. I don't really have any notes on it. It was a future shock for the win from Drew McIntyre. Really basic match for this era. I just gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah,
that was average.
It was just whatever.
Just what star rating did you give it?
2.5.
Yeah, pretty nothing match, and honestly, kind of the low point of this show. So kind of unfortunate that we picked it to celebrate Drew McIntyre, but the match he had on this, and he wasn't even coming to the ring to Broken Dreams yet.
No,
did you notice that?
I did.
It was just some.
It was like
generic
this is
song.
like. This is like I would say for those who follow the hot dog and handshake lore, this is like 6 months before I see him for the first time, and this is like May 2010 or so. So this is like this is right before he becomes the Chosen One. This is right before Broken Dreams.
Well, he was already the Chosen One.
Really?
At this point, yeah.
So yeah, you're right. So he. But like the idea you didn't have Broken Dreams during that, because when I think of the Chosen One, I think Broken Dreams. It's one of the best. I remembered that I couldn't wait to use Sheamus's theme or Drew McIntyre's theme in SRS 2011. So that's what I just think of.
Josh Matthews has an interview with Drew after the match. Sheamus walks in, says Drew isn't the only newcomer that's going to leave TLC with gold. Sheamus was also pretty new at this point. He's challenging Cena later for the WWE title. But it was fun to see them kind of get in each other's faces, right? Especially the way that rivalry has played out in recent years between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. So it was planted from the beginning, which I thought was really cool. Moving on, we have Michelle McCool with Layla defending the women's title against Mickie James. This is during the Piggy James shit, which was just a terrible program.
You making me watch this era of WWE brings back all of the women's stuff that I remember. Every time I was there, I'd get up and go to the bathroom because of shit like the Piggy James.
Yeah, which is, I don't think you should do that just because it's the women matches now. But in the era, they weren't giving you much that you wanted to see, right?
Calling women matches a bathroom breaks now is kind of it's pretty rude.
Yeah.
Back then it was, and that shows how far it's come in WWE.
Also, I wrote here, Mickey's outfit looks incredibly uncomfortable to wrestle in. Did you notice that?
I did.
Michelle McCool hit a big boot for the win. I gave it 3 stars. I thought they had put together a pretty competent match. Like, it was pretty. Obviously, they're 2 of the greats all time, but I feel like they were actually given time and were allowed to put together a pretty solid match. So, I don't know. What do you think of the match overall? Because obviously the storyline is
right.
not
If
great.
you take away the storyline, make it like a modern.
Lost points for the storyline.
Yeah, if you make it a modern storyline and give them like 20 minutes, this might be a 4-star match. Like, Michelle McCool is good, Layla is good, Mickie James is really good, but it was the time period, the length they got wasn't enough. The storyline was sucky. I gave it 2.5 again.
All right. And now on to the kind of second half of the card. I think most cards you can draw a clear first half, second half point where like this is where we really get into the big stories. But I do want to say, as far as undercards go, this is one of the better ones we've looked at.
Yeah.
I think that, like I said, there's some bad storyline stuff here. The Drew match was left a lot to be desired, but this was a pretty solid undercard for a pay-per-view. Moving into John Cena versus Sheamus. This is a tables match for Cena's WWE title. I got just my notes here. The stairs really took a beating in this one. A lot of stair spots. They did an incredible job building drama around the table. Just the way the table loomed as like this third competitor in the match almost was really interesting.
It was really good, yeah.
John Cena tries to slam a table on Sheamus, which I thought was an interesting use of the table that you don't see a lot. Just a random note I noticed here. Why is security dressed like safari guides? The security were in like khaki shirts.
Where was this again?
San Antonio.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sheamus hits a bro kick. Cena hits a 5-knuckle shuffle and an attitude adjustment. Then we get to the finish. They're on the top turnbuckle. There's a table in the ring. Cena's trying to superplex. They struggle for a while, and ultimately Sheamus pushes Cena off through the table. Looked pretty uncomfortable because he almost lands on like the leg of the table. But I give us 3.5 stars. This was pretty good.
For the era it was in, it was a pretty solid Extreme match, I think. I gave it 3.25.
I don't even really feel like
I didn't really.
it had to be much of an extreme match.
No,
it just had
didn't.
to have an extreme finish.
Yeah.
With the table spot, because it really just felt like building up this. It kind of felt like the end of a battle royal, when they're really playing it up when they're near the ropes and really making what's going to finish the match a third member of the match. So, what were your other thoughts on it?
I just think that like the ending could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they did a great job of selling that it wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like maybe more of a push from Sheamus before he falls would have been a better way to end it.
Yeah, but also the ending I think kind of plays into the volatility of a tables match.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So I thought it was pretty good. Moving on, we have The Undertaker versus Batista in a chairs match for Undertaker's heavyweight title. This is Batista just after the infamous turn on Rey Mysterio where he clotheslines Mysterio almost through the mat. So Undertaker racks himself on the barricade at one point in this match trying to boot Batista. Batista hit a spinebuster on a chair. Undertaker locks in a Hell's Gate, but Batista gets the ropes. We got a choke slam because the Undertaker was really playing all the hits in this one. This was that portion of his career where he's going to go out there, hit all the big moves you recognize, and then go home. Batista low blows Taker, which was not legal. It only happened because the ref was down. Then he lands a big chair shot and gets the pin. Teddy Long comes out and restarts the match. Why does this happen randomly and not every time someone cheats? Are the GMs not watching the show?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, I get the idea of this, but it kind of breaks the logic of the show, which is, it's kind of one of those things that was just kind of a problem with Vince McMahon's booking, but it happened so many times we kind of got used to it. It kind of goes along with, why do we only see contract signings for certain matches? Shouldn't all matches have a contract signing? Why are some of them randomly on TV?
Yeah, why don't we see the contract signing of Bill versus Bobby at ACEW 666 Takedown Terror in live in Okinawa?
But so I don't know. I just don't understand this. It doesn't really make sense as a story point. But then Taker hits a chair shot and a tombstone for the win. 3 stars. It probably would have been better if it wasn't for the Teddy Long stuff at the end, which Teddy Long did great.
No, yeah, he did.
It was nice to see Teddy Long. It always is, especially when he's got to make someone go one-on-one with The Undertaker. But what did you think of this match?
I think it was pretty solid. What did you give it again? A 4?
I gave it 3.
Oh, okay. I'd say, 3.
3. Yeah, I don't know. Also, this era Undertaker, I mean, I know this is between his 2 big Shawn Michaels matches, but that's Shawn Michaels, right? This era Undertaker, this era Batista, neither really excite me a lot.
No.
They do some good work in here. It's just not really high points for their career at all. So they both worked much better as Ruthless Aggression characters, I think. Moving on, we have Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Now, when I was a kid, WWE released this series of DVDs that were best ofs, right? And the cover of all of them was this red background with the guy there. I had the best of Randy Orton and the best of Kofi Kingston. And this match was on Kofi Kingston's DVD. I know they did others. I think there was a best of Cena, best of Rey, best of Batista, best of Edge, stuff like that. But those were the 2 I had, right? So I got a lot of nostalgia for this match that I didn't realize I had until we're watching the show. And during the promo package for this, I see Kofi do the boom drop in Madison Square Garden through the table to Orton, and I remembered, oh yeah, this match was on that DVD I had as a kid. I've seen this match 100 times. So before, there's a Kofi Kingston Legacy Randy Orton segment that felt straight out of a SmackDown versus Raw Road to WrestleMania cutscene.
It did feel like that, yeah.
Let's see. Orton catches Kofi midair with a picture-perfect drop kick. On the floor, even. Kofi's jumping from out of the ring. Orton catches him with a perfect drop kick. I wrote here, Randy Orton is so captivating as a competitor. I was just locked into this match. Just the way Orton goes about things, the way he paces, the way he the way he reacts, like
he is such like a methodical paced type of wrestler,
mm-hmm.
and as a heel, it's so good.
It just really works, and this is really some of the best heel work of Randy Orton's career. This kind of 2009 era. So, let's see. What did I have next? Oh, Kofi hits an SOS and a boom drop and a Trouble in Paradise. Orton kicks out. He hits his Hangman DDT. Kofi blocks the punt, but because of the way he blocked it, he has to sell his shoulder. Orton attacks the shoulder. Kofi tries to counter the RKO with Trouble in Paradise, but Orton ducks and hits an RKO anyway for the win. I give this 4 stars. What did you think of it?
I was pretty close to giving it 4. I feel like it was a very solid match with these two. I can see it easily being on a best of DVD. I'm gonna get. I would say 3 3/4.
3 3/4. All right. And then at the end of this, Michael Cole says Kofi Kingston has proved that he deserves to be in the upper echelon of WWE. So why did it take them almost 10 years to put the world title on him?
Beats me.
Yeah. That's just ridiculous. After this, we see a segment where Batista threatens Teddy Long, and like just the look on Teddy Long's face, like he's just in, like Batista might actually kill him, was just great. Teddy Long did great in both of his spots on this show. Finally, the main event. And do you remind everybody what Chris Jericho and Big Show's team name was?
Jerishow.
Jerishow.
But I remember the theme. I remember the theme more.
It's the Jerishow.
We're proud of it's the big
Yeah. What a weird mashup theme that we got from that.
So bad.
They are facing D-Generation X, who have a banger of a theme song.
This is original.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Jericho and Michaels just have insane chemistry. I don't know if you noticed that in this match.
They really do.
They had the WrestleMania 19 match. They had another ladder match in 2008. They're just so great together. 32 world titles between these 4 guys. 15 WWE titles, 11 World Heavyweight titles, 4 WCW World titles, 1 AEW, and 1 Ring of Honor World titles between these 4 men, which is insane. Of course, the AEW and Ring of Honor being Chris Jericho. DX suplexed a ladder onto Chris Jericho. Great. Awesome. I love people doing moves to ladders to weapons onto other people. That just was a great thing I saw in there.
It should work.
Mm-hmm. Triple H was in a Tree of Woe on the ladder, which I thought was really inventive, and I haven't seen a lot. We had a fun segment where sequence where Michaels tunes up the band. Jericho dodges the Sweet Chin Music. He hits Shawn with a code breaker. Triple H spine busters Jericho, and then Big Show comes out of nowhere and spears Triple H. Big Show punches a chair into Triple H's face. Of course, it has no effect on the Big Show. DX push a ladder with Show on it over. Big Show hits the top rope. Triple H hits a pedigree assisted by Michaels. HBK almost gets the belts. Jericho pushes the ladder over, and Michaels falls onto the Big Show. Big Show completely dismantles a ladder. Just rips it apart, which was insane to see. You don't see them do that very often. And then he choke slams Michaels into Triple H through a table. Jericho uses the Big Show as a ladder while they are trying to do that, which is not a well thought out plan at all. Because the way they did it, Jericho climbs the top rope. He grabs Big Show's hands and stands on his shoulders. But if he's holding his hands, how is he supposed to reach the titles? What were they thinking?
Do you think they really thought that through when they made the spot?
No. HBK hits a Sweet Chin Music, knocking Jericho into a table. He does not go through it. He bounces right off of it. He hits Show with another Sweet Chin Music, and they use the half ladder to clothesline Show out of the ring. Triple H holds half the ladder for Shawn Michaels to climb and grab the titles, which is such an inventive finish for a ladder match. I gave this 4 1/4. What did you think of this match?
I thought it was okay. I gave it a 4.
Okay.
It was a little bit more than okay, but in terms of like a 4-star match, it was okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. You ready to go into our categories?
I believe so.
All right, starting it off as we always do. Best moment. What was the single best moment for you in this match or in this card?
I think given the time period, it's Cena losing.
Cena losing. Okay.
The way he lost, the way he sells the loss, the shock that Cena's all-powerful John Cena lost.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really adds to the whole thing.
I was going to give it to the TLC finish. Just the whole sequence leading up to Triple H holding half a ladder for Shawn Michaels to climb in San Antonio. That was big. But I did consider the tables match finish. Now for the Heat Check Award. This award goes to the guy or girl who did the most with a short amount of screen time. It's got to be Teddy Long, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah, I think he did. Now for Apex Mountain. This is an interesting one. If you don't know, Apex Mountain is the peak of something. It could be a wrestler, it could be a team, a faction, a show, a match type, a commentator. I think on one episode a couple weeks ago, we did the Apex Mountain for commentary one-liners with the King of the Ring 98. So I want to pose this to you. Not necessarily this show, but is 2009 the Apex Mountain for Randy Orton?
Yes.
Think so?
At least heel Randy Orton, yeah.
Okay. I think so too. I just wanted to see if you had any objection. I mean,
it is. Bald Randy Orton 09 was
I don't even know what would be
evil human being.
I don't even know what else would be in contention. I don't think anything really comes close to what he did in 2009.
Yeah, no, really. This is his best year.
Is this Apex Mountain for DX as a tag team?
No.
Don't think so?
No, it's 97.
It's 97. Well, they weren't really a tag team, though. DX as the whole faction is 97. But as, like, the tag team of Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
I guess, if you're going to get that specific of it, yeah.
Or is it in 2006?
It's either 06 or 09. It's one of those two.
Okay. Is this the Apex Mountain for Michelle McCool? This Lay Cool run?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
All right. Now, recasting. Which match do you think we should take and recast? Think we should do the TLC main event for the recasting?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd say
okay. So in modern terms, let's see, is there a tag team right now that could do a reunion run? Oh. What about Adam Copeland and Christian Cage?
Yeah.
Reunion run, TLC match.
That's your big reunion team.
Yeah. So Adam Copeland and Christian Cage as DX. Who plays the roles of Jerishow? Top heels. One of them's got to be kind of a big guy that maybe you wouldn't typically see in ladder matches.
I guess.
I mean, there's a very you direction we could take this.
There is, yeah. And I'm trying to avoid that.
Trying to avoid using Brody King in every recasting.
I would say before this, Big Bill and Ricky Starks, but they're no longer a tag team.
Yeah. Is it Big Bill and Chris Jericho?
You know what? It works. It works. Chris Jericho's still in this. He's stuck in his own personal Jericho vortex.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have Adam Copeland and Christian Cage as DX, and Big Bill and Chris Jericho as Big Show and Chris Jericho.
Big Bill and Chris Jericho, not Big Bill.
I said Big Bill and Chris Jericho as the Big Show and Chris Jericho in that role.
There we go.
As Jerishow. Best double feature for DX versus Jerishow. I'm going to say the Jericho-Michaels ladder match, Unforgiven 2008.
Yeah.
I think that's the best one to go to. I don't
It is.
think there's a real signature DX match that pairs well with this or Jerishow. I just think, you watch Unforgiven 2008 ladder match, and then you watch this. Moving on, we have the classic hot dog, classic handshake. Shane, what gets the classic handshake for this pay-per-view?
Is there any rules that you can't pick?
I guess technically you just can't pick Drew McIntyre.
Oh, man. Darn it! I was gonna pick the main event.
Main event. So here's what I'm gonna do, because yes, I gave the main event tag team match a 1/4 of a star rating better than the match I'm gonna pick. Purely because of the nostalgia factor, I'm picking Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston.
That's fair.
It just brought me back. I'm going to go with that. Our final bit here. Out of 10, what are you going to rate this show? For reference, last week you gave a 6.5 to NXT TakeOver.
Give us a 7.
Give this a 7? I gave this a 6, so we gave this the exact same ratings that we gave King of the Ring 98. Yeah, because I think King of the Ring 98 has a better second half, but this has a better first half.
Yeah. So I think it's fair.
This, I think, is a more across-the-board pretty good show. Obviously, there's the dip in the middle after the Shelton Benjamin-Christian ladder match. But this is, overall, just kind of a pretty good show. It flows well. I was having a great time watching it. I didn't watch it in one sitting just because there was something else I had to do, so I watched the last 2 matches later. But sitting in it, I wanted to stick with it. I was just kind of into the flow of the show. So I thought it was a great pay-per-view, and I think of this era, this is probably one of the better ones you're going to see. You know, purely on a wrestling phase. Of course, I think there's a lot of fun to be had with this era if you put yourself in it the right way. But, yeah. So, Shane, next week, I know normally I lead this show, but occasionally we do shows that are more in Shane's atmosphere that he leads. So next
9
week,
times out of 10 I picked those shows.
yeah. So, but next week is one I picked, but I think you're on board with. We are going to NJPW Dominion 2018. So it's a big month for New Japan as we approach Forbidden Door. We had Dominion a couple weeks ago, the 2024 version of Dominion. So we're going back to Dominion 2018, which of course is Okada versus Kenny Omega, 2 out of 3 falls, correct? That is the 2 out of 3 falls match?
I believe so.
Yes. So that is where we are going next. If you liked this episode, make sure to follow us on Twitter at HDHPod. Check out our YouTube, subscribe and like there. Check out our Spotify, follow us there. Once again, thank you to SoundPeak Audio Design and Development here in Topeka, Kansas for letting us record in your studio. And most of all, just remember to enjoy wrestling.